17 on EA Sports. The Ravens have every intention of walking out of today's game with win number 4 on the season. It's the Dolphins going up against the Ravens. So for the call of this Week 13 matchup, let's bring in our commentary team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are coming to you from the heart of Baltimore, nestled between Russell Street and I-395. We're at M&T Bank Stadium. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens.
Watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left. 3 down, 3 down.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll run with Dixon. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Let's go! Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
Back to throw here. That is incomplete. Kenneth Dixon, the running back, the intended target. And it's third down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was in the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Now the longtime Raven punter, Sam Cook, on to punt it away. The dangerous Jarvis Landry back for Miami. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the D swarming to the line.
4 down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Leopard.
Watch twist.
Watch it now, Barney.
Bang.
Set. Blue landing. Leopard. Over.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the rookie Tavon Young. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. For the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll look to throw here. Johnson with a completion over the middle. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off. Usually,
and he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Here we go.
They'll come out in the pistol.
All right, here we go. Over.
Kill, turn up.
Set. Blue.
Now Moore. He's got the second-year man. This is Devontae Parker. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Okay, the starters for the Miami Dolphins offensively. Charles, who are we highlighting?
Got to highlight Jay Ajayi, their running back. Came out of Boise State as a 5th-round pick, but most people had his talent much more like a 2nd round. There were some medical concerns with the knee, but he can do it all. Run, catch, block. He's truly a 3-down back.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz.
Stop right there.
All right, here we go. Detroit! Detroit!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And Stills over the middle. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They come out here in the eye. The rookie Dixon gets another carry. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. And a look at the starters for the Miami defense.
The competition to go to the Pro Bowl at safety is fierce in the NFL. But Rashad Jones makes his case year in and year out as one who should go.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Stevie Johnson was the intended receiver. Now 4th down.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over.
Jay Ajayi's gonna go. The 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Tight right. Half. Shift. Watch the shift.
D2. D2. Let's go. D2. D2.
Hold the look. Hold.
D2. 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 D2.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Mike Wallace, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Ben Watson was the intended target, the tight end. And it's 3rd down.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They have what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Yeah, just couldn't hang on to the slant. Looking to throw, escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49.
Now, that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a 1st down.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Now a carry here for Terrence West. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. The 20. Cuts back, left sideline. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use.
Let's go. D2. 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 D2.
switch it.
Half.
That's a safety creep.
Let's go.
Like
Boom,
56.
58.
56.
Half.
Switch.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Crockett Gilmore there, and that'll bring up second down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Day 2. Let's go. Half.
Check 99. Check 99.
Day 2. Day 2. Day 2.
25.
Day 2.
Check 25. Check 25.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's 6 points for the Baltimore Ravens. That was a case of practice making perfect. Goal line offense had been their focus while prepping for this one.
Almost as if you go back to training camp, isn't it? You strip it bare, you figure out what you need to make something work on it all week long, and get it done. That's got to feel great for them.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Clock runs, less than a minute to go, and an entertaining first quarter of play.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
More now. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
I've always loved Brandon Mebane. From the time I watched him play in college through many, many productive years in the NFL, one of the best defensive tackles in the game.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. They come out five wide, three of them to the right side.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Kill.
All right, now, lucky 56.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Now Moore. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one good for 12 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
Now Campanaro. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. 2nd down to the offense in search of 6 yards. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. And it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Benjamin Watson. His first touchdown as a member of the Ravens. And the Ravens have taken the lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
This will be taken very short. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Detroit! No. Check Detroit! Detroit!
Now a play fake here on first down. Forced out to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lardarius Webb. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Tight ends on the loosey. Tight ends on the loosey.
They come up in an offset eye.
Three down.
No. Check Patriots!
Trying to shake off the interception from the lat. This is intercepted. Picked off by Terrell Suggs. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They're going to, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Stevie Johnson, his second touchdown on the season, and the Ravens will extend their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here comes Grant on the return. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
While there's no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
319!
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Miami. 48 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Second down and a little ways to go here. Second and 13.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenny Stills with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point, because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way, because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll get 17 yards there. And it's good enough for a Baltimore first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get.
On first down, they go with Dixon. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Back to throw here. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. We're back to Baltimore after this.
Right, Roger.
J2.
Check.
Let's go.
Undercrush.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
That could not have been timed out any better, and that's exactly what receivers want. The ball in their hands as quick as possible allows them to catch it at full speed and take off and go. And how about the end result there? Big-time run after catch yardage. That rack yardage is so valuable for any offense.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Kenneth Dixon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard, because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
10 yards still left on second down. Now Moore. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to go. And got his man. Complete. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Damian Williams, 76 yards. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Tight right, tight right. Half. Check 31, check 31.
Let's go. Blue 58.
And the back goes into motion.
58.
Man, move it. You got to get that. Check. Fresno.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Eluding the pressure right. To the right side to Aiken. 23 yards on the play.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Strong left. You ain't got 49, check 49.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll look to throw now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be caught. But out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right? You're shortening it.
And he's going to be taken down here. Back across midfield, 3 yards away from midfield at the 47.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big. But sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, and for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And out come the Dolphins now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And with great field position here, chance for some points before the break.
That's prime real estate. Just have to decide how they want to try and take their shot to try and put those points on the board.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Here we go now. Green.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
They come out here in the eye.
All right, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
More now. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Let's get it.
Fresh set of downs here.
Tight, watch left.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage, look defensively.
Green, 39.
Back to throw now on first down. This one caught. Jordan Cameron. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 13 on the pickup there. And the Dolphins have a first down. And the D looking like they may blitz.
Tight left. 4 down.
This is Ajayi. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this is incomplete. Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third down.
Could be a blitzer.
Now Moore. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Jarvis Landry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are a 2-point conversion away from tying this football game. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Throws right side. And he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game, and it works out. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. To return, here's Michael Campanaro. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
6 yards here to go for the offense on second down.
Let's go. J2.
Check 50.
They're going to look to throw. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Looking to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
He's coming. We got double up.
They come out here in the eye. They'll start the drive with Dixon. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game. The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare because no one's being stopped throwing the ball downfield, and points are going on the board.
They'll set up a throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And they're going to speed things up here.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes it...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go around. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long.
Set! Green 39!
Back to throw here. And it's complete. The tight end, Deion Sims. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket. And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even add a little extra at the end with a short run. So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Well, that was better than the first go-around when he lost yardage, but still nothing there, and that sets up a 3rd and long. Tough spot here.
Put it mildly. Sometimes I wonder if some of that old-school football should come back into play. You know what I would think here? quick kick. Try and change field position, help out your team.
Watch left. He's tied right there.
3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. Moore now. Flush to his right. And this is caught at the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving Day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them. When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue,
Now it's Ajayi. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loaded in the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your...
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Jay Ajayi with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? They'll look to throw here, and hauled in by Pitta. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
While an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play, for the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Flushed out right, and he's brought down. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They'll drop to throw, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Michael Campanaro, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. And his kick is right through. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here's Jarvis Landry now on the return. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Now let's go!
Now Moore. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. The fourth quarter here, they got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. And that was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Now the defense definitely showing blitz here.
Now let's go!
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. On third down, he'll drop to throw. They set up the screen to Ajayi. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the fourth quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. He'll buy some time right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Ben Watson was the intended target, and that brings up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Shift. Watch the shift.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Rolling to his right. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on 3rd down plays, but when you go for it on 4th down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
Eluding the pressure right. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
After that incompletion, I almost get the sense that he's going to look up at the booth and kind of look at us and say, hey, you guys got any suggestions? It's been that kind of game, hasn't it? They've had him on the run throughout.
Yeah, and I get that you're trying to make a play here losing 4th quarter, but to throw when you're not set with pressure coming could have been an interception.
Very much so, and it's been that kind of game for him. They've had him on the run, had him off balance. He's got to find a way to make some big-time throws down the stretch.
Escaping the pressure right. Now a desperation. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. It's the former Seahawk, Byron Maxwell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles? And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
A carry here for the big tight end. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back.
Now let's go.
Cameron the man in motion.
Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52.
They run with Ajayi. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Here's Matt Darr now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside?
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. So now here come the Dolphins. They're in a good spot. 2-possession game, barely, but a 2-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen, because we've seen nutty things happen down the stretch, but they also have the security of the scoreboard. With that type of a lead, even if something goes haywire, they're still in good shape.
3 down, 3 down.
Set. Green 39.
Here's Ajayi. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Here we go now.
They run again with Ajayi. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for Miami, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it's another week with more questions and answers as they fall to 3-9.